Muy buenos días de Costa Rica. Sí, buenos días. Okay, today we're going to review chapter 1, Portales 1, capítulo número 1. And you see, we're here at the Pacific. Okay, you see the beautiful palm tree out there and the water, it's gorgeous. Anyway, let's get right to the text, okay? So we're looking at gender. There are only two genders in Spanish, okay? Male and female. There's no doubt, okay? Because it comes from the Latin. You see el and la, okay? El and la, but there's also a plural, los and las. So get used to that, singular plural. El, la, los, las. And you see la escuela. That's an actual school in Guayabo de Guanacaste, Costa Rica, okay? It's outdoors because the climate is always warm. You see tons of bicycles because all the students bike to school. There's no school busing. Everybody walks or bikes, okay? So you see la escuela, the school, but the plural, las escuelas. And you see bicicleta, that's bicycle, that's not in our vocabulary, but you're responsible for it, okay? La bicicleta and las bicicletas, that's your plural, singular plural. Down below, the other picture, okay, of the students walking in, walking out, okay, you see el estudiante, that's the masculine. You've had the feminine, la escuela, now the masculine, el estudiante. If that were a girl, it would be la estudiante. And the plural, los estudiantes. Okay, muy bien. All right. So we talked about articles. El, la, los, las. Well, those are definite articles. Now we'll look at indefinite articles. You walk into the library, I want a book. I don't want the book that I put on reserve. I want a book. Any book, it doesn't matter. Okay? So in Spanish, a is un. And we see indefinite articles, un, una, unos, unas. Well, el estudiante is the student. Los estudiantes, the students. Un estudiante, a student. I have a student who needs help. Okay? Give me a book, un libro. Unos estudiantes, some students, or maybe a few students. There are a few students outside in the hall. Hay unos estudiantes. And you see on the bottom there, okay, the students are smart. Los estudiantes son inteligentes. But if you wanted to point to a group and said, some of those students are smart, okay, unos estudiantes son inteligentes. We'll learn later on about algunos, but that's a whole nother chapter. For now, it's just unos. Great. So we've covered the articles, el, la, los, las, singular and plural. Now we look at the verb ser, to be or not to be. Okay, we're not going to do Shakespeare today. Okay, so to be, ser, the infinitive that means to be. Soy, I am. Okay, pronouns. We talk about the pronouns. They take the place of a noun. Yo takes the place of Bill. Yes, yo, I, that's me. Yo, I. Okay, in the picture of the three students there, you see the three girls, yo soy estudiante. I'm a student, she says. Okay, that's Raquel next to Maria. Okay, so Raquel says, yo soy estudiante. The plural of all of those is nosotras. And you remember nosotros, nosotras. That's the plural because they're feminine. So it's nosotras. Yes? Nosotras somos estudiantes. Then you have tú. That's you. Okay? Tú eres estudiante. You're a student. Okay? Usted es estudiante. You're a student. Well, we have tú and usted. They both mean the same, you. One is familiar, one is formal. We're going to talk more about that later on. Then, the he and she, the masculine. El, he, okay. El es estudiante, with an accent on the el, yes, okay. And ella, she is a student. Ella es estudiante. So we've got the picture of the verb ser. Nosotras, okay, nosotros, we talked about nosotras, the girls, okay, but also the guys. if you've got a bunch of students, like in the picture there, okay, it would be nosotros, because girls and guys together, they make it a masculine. Nosotros somos estudiantes. Okay? The plural, ustedes, y'all, if we're here in the South. If you're in New York, it's yous guys, or yous coming to my house tonight, okay? But we're here in Florida, so it's y'all, all right? So ustedes is y'all, the plural of usted, you. And ustedes son estudiantes, you are students. And finally, the ellos, ellas, they, the female and male plural. Ellos, ellas, ellos son estudiantes. Muy bien. When you're building a house, you put in a new door or an extra window or a roof tile, you're putting in accents to the house to make it look different, to change the appearance. Well, the same thing happens in Spanish with accents, acentos, tildes. When you put those on the letter of the alphabet, it changes the meaning of the word. We've already seen el, libro, okay, the book, and él es estudiante, he's smart, because él es estudiante has the accent. The L without the accent means the, as we covered. Tú, you see, tú eres de Nueva York. You're from New York, okay? You're from New York. Accent, tú. But when you look at, we'll learn later on, tu libro means your book. There's no accent on the word tu. So when we put the accent in, we change the word. You'll notice also question words. ¿Cómo? ¿Qué? ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué pasa? They all have accents. All question words have accents, because without the accent, it changes the meaning of the word, which we'll cover in another chapter. Telling time. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? All right. You see on the screen 5 different clock positions. Es la una de la tarde. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Remember, es is part of the verb ser. It is. So you're saying es la una. It's 1 o'clock. The Spanish uses la una because it's la hora. It's a feminine hour. Es la una. That's the singular. But there's also a plural. So when you go beyond 1:30, you're in the 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on up to 12:30. So look at the next one down. It says, son las 9:30. It's 9:30. The Spanish uses media. Media, it's a half. Half a cup. Media taza. Okay? 1:30. And I've put with each one of those, a la. Okay? Because it is 1 o'clock, es la una. At 1 o'clock is a la una. Don't forget the a. So when we look at 9:30, it's 9:30, son las 9:30. At 9:30 is a las 9:30. Muy bien, moving along. Son las 12 menos 5. It's 5 minutes of 12. We say it's 5 till or 5 of, okay? But it's really 12 minus 5. And the Spanish says 12 menos 5. And then you have at 11:55, which is the same as 5 till 12, a las 12 menos 5. Top right-hand corner up there, you see son las 10:10. Well, it's 10 after 10. It's 10 after. Son las 10:10. It's 10 plus 10 more minutes, or 10 more seconds, whatever, however you're looking at the clock. But at 10:10, class is at 10:10. A las 10:10. And finally, son las 8 en punto. They use the word en punto. So if you wanted to say it's 1 o'clock on the dot, or it's exactly 1 o'clock, es la una en punto. 8 o'clock, es la, o son las 8 en punto. And I'll meet you at 8 o'clock, a las 8 en punto. I hope this has been helpful. Muy bien, gracias. Ha sido un placer. Adiós.